Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Zarathax YouTube channel. That's right, there's only one. It's me in the flesh. In today's video, it is Monday as of recording, and I'm going to be giving you guys a list of count them, eight tips and tricks I have, especially for newer Genshin players, to start off the week in Genshin Impact. Now, if you are not new, if you're clicking on this video just because you're bored, there's also something for you in this list. This is just a rundown of the things I do when the week resets so that I maximize my battle pass and, more importantly, maximize my resin usage because Genshin is very stingy with resin. I'm looking at you, Honkai Star Rail. Very stingy. Why are we? It's 2025. Why are we still this stingy? But without further ado, let's get started. All right, so one of the first thing I do when I log on is not be on top of Fontaine. You log on, maybe you played a little bit yesterday, maybe you're logging on for the week, but your resin should be a lot more than 32. I had already spent mine. You should have a bunch of resin. Now, if you're a more experienced player, if you are very quick with your decisions, I know I am, I've done it a lot of times, but do not spend your resin immediately when you log in, or do not make your condensed resin. I know it's tempting. I know you want to get in, make your condensed, get your commissions, rewards, get out. Chill. When you log on for the first time of the week, whether it's Monday or if you log on at any later point, please, please, please make sure you are doing your weekly bosses first. This is super important. The first three weekly bosses you do per week are half resin cost. But while you have the resin and while it's fresh on your mind and the start of the week, you want to make sure that you are doing your weekly bosses. Now, this is important for a couple of reasons. So if you're like me and you've been playing for a while, now I've quit the game here and there. I've come back quite a few times, but if you look at my weekly boss drops, there are a lot, especially from the early part of the game where there was just, Dvalin and the Wolf boss and Ajdaha and Child. So I did all of those like every single week. But as you can see, some of these newer bosses, especially the more characters they release, the more you are going to need these boss drops. You can do one boss per week. Still don't know why that's a thing, but you can only do one boss per week to get the drops. So it is even more prevalent that if you know you are building a character, if you have a favorite character you want to build, please make sure you are looking as to what talents they need, what boss drops they need. Now, this is also important because the bosses in Genshin Impact, whether it is a weekly boss or a world boss, will also drop the little chunks of ores that you need to ascend your characters. So, let's say I'm fighting the Knave here. Even if I do not need the Knave's boss drops, even if, you're going through your list and none of the characters you want to build need any of a weekly boss, you still want to make sure you're at least spending your half-cost resin on these bosses so that you can get the gem drops from them. Now, every boss is different. The Knave obviously is Pyro, so she drops the Pyro gems. The Whale is Hydro, so they drop the Hydro gems. But if you want to be building a lot of characters on your account, and you especially don't have that many, you want to make sure you are fighting these bosses, as you will very quickly run into an issue where you just are running out of gems. You have no gems, you have nothing to ascend your characters. This is especially important if you want to craft your gems into other elements as well, using the item called the Dust of Azoth, which allows you to transmute as elemental ascension materials and change their elemental type. So, super useful. Make sure you are doing your weekly bosses every week. Now, number 2 thing you want to be doing every week you log in, and especially this is more so for daily things that you want to be doing, is you want to go to this special event tab in your escape menu, and you want to be clicking on it. This will show you all of the web events, if there are any, for you to take part in. This will show you sometimes some important information, especially like surveys, I think, show up here too. But if not here, then you want to be making sure you are doing your Genshin Impact daily login on Hoyo Lab. Now, I'm sure this is more of a niche thing, but if you go onto the Hoyo Lab website, if you are on desktop, or they have a mobile app for it as well if you play on mobile, but you can actually do something called the daily check-in. Now, this is for both Genshin and Honkai and ZZZ if you play it, but every single month you can get up to 60 extra Primo Gems and a lot of Mora, talent books, random food, Escoffier Delight if you don't have her. So you want to be making sure you're doing your daily logins, and also it will show you if there are currently any active web events for you to take part in, which very much often also give you a lot of extra Primogems for you to spend on your favorite characters. Now, number 3 thing you want to be doing, especially if you're a newer player, is your reputation quests. Now, typically for each region, you will unlock this by doing that nation's Archon quest. So you're starting off in Mondstadt, you finish Mondstadt's Archon quest, or you go through a little bit of it. You will see these triangle marks on each map, typically in the main city, or in Inazuma in the Kamisato estate for some reason. And every single week, you're allowed to do 3 bounties and 3 supply runs for reputation rewards. Now, this is only really important in Liyue because the Liyue reputation, the level 3 rewards, offers you the recipe for condensed resin. Condensed resin allows you to, as the name suggests, condense your resin. This is the staple of every endgame player's goals and dreams in Genshin Impact, and is the stepping stone to help you farm better and make better decisions for your account. Other than level 3's reputation reward in Liyue offering you condensed resin, the reputation rewards don't really offer too much. If you're into Genshin Drip Pact, you will find each region's wings, the wing gliders, for that region, and also for the later levels, you will be able to find the treasure compass and the resonant stone for each region. Now you have to forge this at the blacksmith, and what those items allow you to do is find any missing treasure and any missing oculuses on the map without actually needing to use the interactive map or anything. So you come to the blacksmith, you look under materials, and you'll see each region: Animo, Treasure Compass, Geo, blah blah blah. Yes, you need to craft each region individually. If you take the Animo Compass into Sumeru, it will not work. So kind of annoying in that regard, but you need to be making sure that you craft all of these, especially if you do not use the interactive map. I am super lazy. I do not use the interactive map. I think it hurts my brain because of how complicated it looks, because I'm extremely small brained. And so I craft these and all of the extra Oculus stones to show me on the map where I can find it so that I can offer them to the statues, and this will be helpful for getting more stamina in the early game, but also those sweet Primogems that I know you are all fiending for. Looking at you, Larry. So number 4 and number 5 kind of go hand in hand, but I am going to be talking now about the Battle Pass. So everything of what I've set up to thus far, and things I will continue to say later in the video that you need to stay to watch for, relates to leveling up your Battle Pass. Now, even if you are entirely F2P, there is a lot of good rewards every single season. You can choose whether you want Mora XP books, Weapon Refinement XP, or Artifact XP. This is the layout that I go because I don't really need these anymore. I have like 4,000 of them. But even the free Battle Pass, you can get some extra resin. You can get a lot of extra Mora, which is super helpful. You get a little bit of free wishes. But the main bread and butter of the Battle Pass comes with the level 30 free weapon reward. So if you are willing to indulge a little bit, and I do not say that you need to do this, but if you are somebody that enjoys Genshin Impact and you like buying the Battle Pass for the extra rewards, you will also get to choose one of these sick, awesome weapons that definitely will help you out in the early game. Now, everything I said before about saving your resin, doing your weekly bosses, I mainly said them because every single week you log on, those will be challenges for you to level up your Battle Pass. So as you can see, I already did a lot of what I was talking about, but the one at the bottom here, complete Trounce Domains or the Dominator of Wolves challenges, huge amount. That's like 2 Battle Pass levels right there, basically. And then you do your dailies and you get some more, right? So the other items you can see under the weekly missions tabs are just things you would do normally. So spending resin, spending Mora, defeating bosses. So all things you should already be doing, but if you want to fully maximize your Battle Pass and make sure you are getting a lot of those free wishes and free resin extra early, you want to make sure you're looking at this list and banging out some of those really easy missions like cooking dishes or forging items. Keep in mind, there is a weekly XP limit of 10,000. You will almost rarely reach this. If you are playing 7 days a week and you are getting, you know, 10,000 XP every single week, you will have the Battle Pass completed in 5 weeks, which is super nifty, but you do not need to be doing that. You can still finish and totally complete the Battle Pass in a reasonable amount of time without needing to like full hardcore grind it every single day. Oh my god, my drink literally matches Shalonen. Look at that. Not sponsored, by the way, but if you would like to sponsor me, Frost, and you totally watch my videos because I have definitely a lot of subscribers, sponsor me. Looking at you. Up next on my list is making sure you have and are keeping track of your teapot. Now, you will unlock this after completing a certain Archon quest in the UA. I think it is the continuance one where you rebuild the Jade Chamber. But here you will find Madam Ping, and she will give you your very own teapot. You can either place this down in the overworld in the gadgets page and enter it that way, or you can just go to your map, and in the bottom you will see your Serenitea teapot. Click on a waypoint or your house, and it'll allow you to teleport to it. But I like the really funky animation, and I want to see Shalonen getting sucked into a teapot, so... This is why no one watches my channel. Like, what the Anyways, as you can see, my teapot looks kind of barren. I have it set to where I get the max amount of points that I need per week, and that's it. I have, of course, a lot of drippy barras around my plants, but basically in your teapot, you can place these little plots of soil to help you grow plants if you are struggling to collect some of them in the overworld, or there's some actually really rare ones that you can plant. But the main source is you talk to Tubby.
This realm is truly beginning to thrive.
And then you go to your trust rank. You can house your companions that you wished for, and you can give them extra companionship EXP if you are interested in that. It is not required at all. I think there's an achievement for it, so it'll give you like 20 primos if you get enough. But also you get in the little cup here a lot of realm currency. Now, you will need to spend a fair amount of time in the beginning building up your trust rank and making sure that you have everything here maxed. But what this allows you to do is every week you can purchase an extra fragile resin, XP books, Mora, and most importantly the artifact XP. And this is super, super useful, especially for an endgame player. But if you are just starting out, I would recommend just making sure your teapot is set up so that you can be thinking about this for the late game.
If you ever have any questions about the realm within, you may ask me.
Alright, so up next on my list, I included pre-farming if you need to. At the time of recording, it is currently the Escoffier first banner and the Navia banner, but next banner will be the Inazuma Chronicled Wish. And I am saving up to wish for Yaimiko, and I've always loved Yaimiko as a character. I never got to be able to wish for her, but I suggest pre-farming, especially if you are towards the end game, because it really helps you ease into that new character. I think one of the most frustrating things is you wish for these new characters that you want, whether it's your favorite character or any of these newer ones, and you get them on your account just to realize you've spent all your resin for the day, and now you have to wait so long for their weapon, for their talents, for their... Thank you, Shalonen. For their weapon, for their talents, for all of this. So if you know you like a character, if you know a character is coming up on banner anytime soon, make sure you are pre-farming for them, as it really helps you ease into that and makes your experience overall better. So I know that I'm farming for Yaimiko. She does not need these books today. She requires the light books. So every day I'm just checking if those books are in and I can farm them. And also I have pre-farmed all of her boss drops. So again, it's super smooth. I also farmed the little samurai drops that she needs. So it just makes for an overall smoother experience. It makes you be able to enjoy the characters that you want to enjoy a lot better. It makes that experience 10 times better and a lot more worth it. Now, up next on my list, I made sure to include events. Now, you might be thinking, Zarathax, this is a no-brainer. Are you stupid? Are you lacking brain cells? The answer is yes, but there are frequently a lot of events in this. I think that's one of the things Genshin's kind of good at, is they release a lot of these, even if they're just reminders, but you can explore the new Natlan area, get 400 extra primos, Escoffier's story quest, get some of her extra boss drops. Of course, the new Archon quest was released. There's this side event, but as you can see, there's about 2 weeks left in this. I always give new events in Genshin Impact a good 3 to 4 days before I ever start actually questing, because like every good thing in Genshin Impact, it is time locked, even the limited time events, which I don't agree with, but that's just how this game works. So I like to give it a few days, but do not forget them. They are such easy primo gems if you are concerned about wishing for a lot of characters. It is so easy to get all of these rewards, and more often than not, the main event of each patch will offer you a free weapon. So especially if you are starting out in the early game and you are lacking in resources and you need weapons and all that stuff, super, super good way to make sure you are just getting easy primos, easy refinements, easy all that good stuff. Now, last on my list, I decided to include the bread and butter of Genshin Impact, and what a lot of you probably just log in to do is farm the artifacts, farm talent traces, farm weapon enhancement materials. I saved this for last specifically because you want to be doing this at the end when you have used your resin for everything else that you want to use it for. Whether that be you need Mora to level up a new character, you need a boss drop to level up your favorite character, you need more XP books, you need more talent books. I save artifacts for last because you want to be farming, like full sending farming artifacts at the very end game when you are settled and you have a good solid few teams that you like playing. You want to be farming artifacts for them then. Now, there are a lot of general artifact domains that you would like to farm, such as the Golden Troop set with the Marechaussee Hunter. There's the Emblem of Severed Fate domain, which is really good for a lot of characters, but and you will hear a lot of late game Genshin Impact players say artifacts are the most important thing in the game, and to an extent, I agree. They definitely do power up your characters, but you can put the best artifacts in the world on you as you want. On your level 60, I'll hate them, and he's still going to do mediocre damage. You need to make sure you're leveling up their level, and importantly, their talents first before they're able to do a lot of damage. The only reason my Clarand really does a lot of damage is because of these huge multipliers on her skills, and it is night and day whether you have 10 10 10 triple crown talents, or, you know, all of your characters are just stuck at one and, you know, they have some okay artifacts on them. It's going to make a difference if you really focus on getting the right things for your account. Now, as a little bonus surprise, as a little bonus secret, I'm going to say this, and this is the... If there's one thing you take away from this video, I hope it is this, and it is to have fun. You are playing a video game. I know. Surprise. Crazy work. You are playing a video game, but if you are not having fun, if this feels like such a tedious grind to you, if this feels like, oh my god, I have to log on, I have so much to remember, I have all of this stuff, I feel like I'm falling behind, play the game at your own pace and make sure you are having fun. Even if your characters aren't top 2% on the Akasha website, even if your characters aren't doing, you know, 1.5 million damage with your Malwika burst, you know, have fun in your own way. If you like playing Eula and she's your favorite character, play Eula. You can clear... The nice thing about Genshin Impact and their endgame is that you can clear all of this endgame using version 1 units. So if you really like Eula, if you really like Ganyu, if you really want to make your Zhongli into a DPS, you absolutely can do that.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Play the game how you want to. Have fun with it. You're here to play a video game. And if it ever becomes not that way, it is a-okay to take a little break, to fend after yourself, to take care of yourself. Another thing I want to add is do not fall victim to FOMO, which means fear of missing out. So Genshin Impact is a gacha game, so they have banners that run for a limited amount of time, and these characters might be new, like Escoffier, they might be super flashy, they might look super cool, but if you, like me, do not have a lot of Primo Gems, do not feel like you are going to miss out if you do not wish for them at this moment. That being said, if you do wish for them and you do get them, a lot of the newer characters have really good early constellations, are able to support your team better with early constellations, but they are not required. My Shalona was perfectly serviceable at C0R0. I don't even have her signature weapon. I literally just have her on a 4-star, but I wished for the characters that I liked. I got their constellations because I liked them, and it makes me enjoy the game a lot more. So do not fall victim to FOMO unless it's with the events. You got to make sure you're doing your events for the free rewards. But there will always be a rerun, even if it's Shenhe being locked in cryo jail for 3 years. Every character has to get a rerun at some point. And even if they are your favorite character, do not feel like you have to spend in order to have enjoyment with this game. I'm building this new team using Gaming because I really like Gaming and I like this plunge playstyle. Now, I have some of the higher tier units, the more premium team for Gaming, but I would love to play Gaming even without Xianyun, even though Xianyun helps a lot, but I like this team. I'm currently trying to build up this team because, Gaming isn't, Malwika or Arlecchino at the top high of the meta, but I have fun when I play with Gaming, and that is what matters. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to drop a like and subscribe if you are not already. There's loads of other content on my channel if you like this and want to see things that are similar. I just showcased and previewed my C6 Chlorand, so if you want to watch that, it'll be on my channel. But thank you everyone for watching. I hope you learned something today, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye!